So today I will explain you the model concept. Okay. And make sure you understand the model concept because this is very important feature in our Dynamics AX as a technical developer. Okay. So, okay. So what is model? Okay. Anyone having any idea about model? Okay. So whenever suppose,
Collection of objects.
yeah, collection of object. Okay. Now, suppose there is a module, okay, and here you can see all the modules. Now, your client, suppose there is a client, maybe Reliance Industry or someone. So, when they open sales order, they want to do some customization. Meaning to say, what is customization? Customization meaning I am adding some new feature. Customization means adding new feature to standard feature. Or I can say on the top of standard feature. Standard feature meaning, so you can see here in the browser, whatever the module, whatever the menu item currently, there is no customization. Everything is standard. So, like when you open Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office, you can see the design, draw. This is standard, meaning it is applicable whenever you install Word, it is applicable for all. So, I can say this designing is a standard, meaning it is common for all the customers. Okay. So, in the similar way, Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation, these modules are common for all the customers. Okay. It's not like some customer are not able to access sales order form, some customer are able to access. So not like that. So standard means everything is common for all the customer. Now maybe here let me open billing code. Okay. Now there is a customer, he wants to add some extra field. Here you can see four fields are available: billing code, description, effective, expiration. Okay, now you want to add one extra field. So that I can say it is a customization. Okay, adding a new feature on the top of standard feature. Now, what is model? Okay, to achieve that kind of requirement, we may need to create tables. Okay, we may need to create EDT. We may need to create enum. I mean, any of the object. We can create class. We can create form to achieve any particular solution. Okay, now all objects in AOT. Okay. Now, so let's suppose I created table 1, EDT 1, EDT enum 2. I created one class, class 1. I created one form, form 1. Okay. Now the question is where I can create these number of objects. So I want to create these number of objects. What I will do? So as I told you, there are two things. Either we can do overlaying or we can do extension. Yesterday I have explained you overlaying and extension. Overlaying nowadays is not possible. I mean to say overlaying is possible, but not possible for standard object. Not possible for standard objects. So, and extension means it's totally independent, and we can create extension. We can create extension of standard object. What I will do, I'll create a extension. Okay, now question is how I can create extension. To create a extension of any object, we have to create a model. So how I will create a model, that I will teach you later. So what is the meaning of this model? It is a collection of object and it's an independent model and independent. Okay, why I am saying it is a collection of objects, because when after I create the model, I whatever the objects I am going to create, everything I need to create inside the model. Now I will show you practically how we will create a model. So I will open the Visual Studio, right click, run as an administrator. So now we will create a model. So I am starting continue without code. Okay. So as I already explained you, we can create a model by clicking on the extension. Click on extension, Dynamics 365, model management, and create model. Okay. So here you can provide some name like visual path underscore training. Okay. This is the model created by me. So I provide model publisher name. It's up to you, whatever publisher name you want to give, you can give. Layer concept I will explain you later. You can give model description like it's an independent model.
Will we be able to change the layer of the model later part?
Yeah, you can change. As of now, you can change. So basically what happened, previously we were using layer concept, but nowadays we are not using. USR means whenever user is doing any modification, they will use USR layer. Where layer, when
Hmm.
you have some, suppose you are working in a value added reseller kind of company, then you will select where. When you are working independent software vendor, then in that case you will use ISV. So this one I will teach you what is the meaning of each layer. I will teach you later. Here you can see SLN, SLP. SLN basically used by MS only, and we have sys layer also. GLS, it's geographical local. So like you have multiple continents, or you can say multiple countries in a single continent. When you are providing a solution for a particular geographical location, in that case you will use GLS layer. So this one I will explain you later. As of now,
Hmm.
USR means user, CUS means
Yes,
CUS
sir.
layer, customer layer, where means value added reseller. It's applicable for the company who is going to develop a new feature, or I can say they are going to create a separate module. In that case, they will use var layer. Okay, I'll teach you
Okay.
later this one.
Yeah,
Okay,
got it.
briefly. Now click next. So as I told you yesterday, always like you are in the starting phase, always select create new project. Later on, you will understand what is the usage of this existing package. Okay. So as of now, you can choose create new package, then click next. Now you can see there are models available, and you can see these all are standard models. Now question is which one you need to enable and which one you need to disable. Okay, this is the place where we choose the model. So as of now, you can choose application foundation and application suite. Why I choose these two models? Because mostly all the objects are available in application foundation and application suite. Okay, mostly all objects are available application suite and application foundation. Which object is available? Like I want to access customer table, customer form.
What is the application suite and what is the application foundation?
This one actually Microsoft. created. So it's just a naming convention. Okay, as such, there is no difference. They created many models. Like you can assume, like for a particular module wise, they created a particular model. Let me show you for. So this is like when you go through the models. Oh my God. Okay, now I'll show you some of the models and modules. What is the common? Okay, so you can see bank type. Okay, in this model, all the bank related object available. So bank related object will come under cash and bank management. So meaning to say for this module, whatever the bank account form, whatever the bank account table, EDT, mostly it will be available inside this model. Okay. Now let's open the calendar. Calendar related any kind of object, like in case of calendar, we must have the table. So that will be available in the calendar. Now I want to see what are the objects available in the calendar. So how I can see? View application explorer, meaning this is our AOT, application object view. Now what you can do, you can use filter by model. Filter by model, here you, if you want to see what are the objects available in that particular module, I mean to say in that particular model, what you can do, you can use filter by model. And what is the value? Calendar. Now system will find out all the objects inside calendar model. So let's see. So this is the AOT. It consists all the objects. Whatever the objects available in Dynamics 365, everything will be available inside AOT. I think we have written wrong spelling or something.
And so what is the main objective of this model? I mean, what is the main purpose of this model?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Calendar, CALENDAR. So,
Instead of DER, it should be DAR.
yeah. Okay, so you can see all the objects are available. Whatever the objects available in this particular model, everything I can see here. Okay, so they created these number of tables, they created these number of views, everything will be available here. So something like that. Okay, now I'll create a new model.
Kind of a group of objects in a place.
Group of object, whenever the name model comes, automatically meaning is group of object.
Yeah,
But
group of
now
objects.
inside the model, how why they created these number of models? Now what is why we are creating model? Okay, now someone is asking why we are creating model. Okay, so model, inside this model, whatever the object we are adding. Currently we have standard model. Suppose I have M1, M2, M3, M4. These are standard, correct? This is standard. This is also standard. This is also standard. Okay. Now someone asks you to add a new feature where you will modify. You can't modify in M1, M2, M3, M4 because these all models are logged and developed by Microsoft.
Microsoft.
Okay. Okay. So you can't use these models to create any kind of development. So what you need to do, Microsoft allow you to create a new model, okay, new independent model. So what you will do, you will create a new model as a M5, and I will give the name as it's an independent model, independent with the standard. Okay. Okay,
Basically,
that's
you are
why we are
utilizing the feature of the available models.
correct. Okay. EP
In the
underscore
standard,
domain.
yeah, Anand, in the standard model, we cannot change any EDT or any fields. You cannot change, right?
Directly you cannot change, but I will explain you how you can change. If you want to
Okay.
change anything in standard, you have to create extension. Okay? In terms of extension, we can change anything, EDT table. So that is why I am saying it is an independent model. It will not affect anything to standard. Okay. Now, which model I told you, you can enable. So mostly all the objects are available in application foundation and application suite. So initially I am selecting only these two modules. Now you can see other models also. Let's go through one by one other models as well. Now here you can see foundation, model. So never don't enable foundation model, because foundation models, as per my experience, I understand foundation model applicable only for development environment, and that too usable by Microsoft only. Okay, you don't enable foundation model. If you enable foundation model, it may cause an issue at UAT or production environment. Okay, so do not
You enabled
select
application platform also along with the application foundation and suite. Do we require application platform also?
application platform also. I mean, this is by default it comes.
Okay,
Okay, by default application platform comes. So never
okay.
enabled which model?
Anand, one thing, suppose we can add other than three platforms like application shoot, application platform, and other than after the three, adding the another another models also, we can add some
Yeah,
features, right?
you can add any number of models. What, so it's like whenever you require, you enable. Today I don't require bank type. Tomorrow I require bank type, so tomorrow I can update bank type also. Today I don't need calendar. Tomorrow I require calendar, then I will enable tomorrow. So something like that.
It
So today
it depends
contact
on the
person.
requirement.
Correct, correct,
Okay.
correct. Okay. So why I required now today there is this model M1. Okay. Now you created this model M5. Okay. Today you enable only M1. Okay. In M5 you enable only M1. You don't enable M2, M3, M4. Now there is a object available in M2, O1, in M3, O2, M3, M4, O3. Now from M5, you want to access O1. So O1 you cannot access, okay, because it is not enabled. So what you need to do, you need to enable M2, then you can access O1 in this M5. I'll explain you practically, okay. So as of now, I'm giving you theoretical knowledge. I'll tell you what is the actual usage of this references. So as of now, you understand only three models I'm going to select. So here I want to give you one more example, dimensions. So you can see there is a model available, dimensions. So dimensions applicable for all the object related to dimensions. So like for a item level, we have some dimensions like size, configuration, color. So that kind of functionality developed in dimension model. Okay. So electronic reporting, this is for reporting purpose. Okay, then we have financial dimension services. I'm just showing you. Okay, I'm not going to enable any of the feature. General ledger, you can see there is a general ledger model, and I can see there's a general ledger module also. Okay, so I can say all the object related to this module available in this model. Okay, general ledger from form adapter. And now you can see HR platform. HR platform basically applicable for HRM module. Here you can see there is a HRM module also. Human resource. Human resource meaning to say employees, contractors. So these all forms or tables, everything available inside this model, HR platform. Then we have leave. Leave is a separate model. I mean to say leave is a separate module provided by Microsoft recently. They added right now. Then
Anand, is data model and model both are same or is both are different?
Leave
data model is
is that
different.
part of human resource or it's a separate module?
Which one?
Leave.
Leave. Leave
Yeah,
is that we need to check. Leave is a separate module, I think. I have seen here sometimes back. Leave and absence. So you can see there's a separate module
Payroll,
available. Leave.
some
Okay.
HR payroll model.
Yeah, maybe. So that we need to check. So as of now, it is not very much important. Okay. So let's move further. So I disable. So suppose I enable only three. Now click next. After this, you can enable this property, also create new project whenever now, if you want to create any new project, you can enable. If you don't want, you can disable. Make this default model for new projects. This option basically applicable when you are creating new project. Automatically model the VP underscore train model will be selected for all projects. So I don't want this feature also. Okay. Now I click next. Now you can see my model created. How you will check? Dynamics 365 model management. You can check update model parameter. You can choose which one we created, VP underscore. VP underscore train available, meaning our model created successfully. Now, as I told you, you can enable or disable later. How you can update? Click on next. Now you can enable or disable. Which one you want to enable, which one you want to disable. So in this way, we can update the model reference packages also.
not
Okay.
able
Any
to see
questions
that
here?
enable and disable button. Where is that? Enable.
Checkbox. It is just checkbox.
Yes, some other screen was coming.
So you can see I selected BP underscore train.
Uh-huh.
Click next. You can enable this or disable this. Which one you want?
Okay,
Okay.
got it. Okay.
So basically we have around 153 models available. So out of 153, I enable only 10. Basically, I enable only 3. Others will be enabled by the Microsoft itself. Okay. Now click next. Now, once we created a project, what we need to do? Once model created, after model, we create a project. How to create project? It's very simple. Click on File, New Project. So you can give some name. Okay. When you are clicking project, make sure you use finance and operation. You should not use developer tool, admin, ASP.NET, Azure function. Don't
I
use
have one
this
question.
one. Always use finance and operation.
Uh, I'm sorry to interrupt. Am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I have one question. So do we have this model concept in 25?
No. In 2012, it's totally different. In 2012, we have models available in database. Okay, not in Dynamics 365. It's totally different. This is a new thing developed by Microsoft in the
You
latest
mean to say,
version.
like for any customization, whatever we're going to start. So first
What
we
do you
have to
mean
create.
latest version?
Dynamics 365 Financial Operation is the latest
So,
version.
So what is
so you,
2012?
2012 is the
so
oldest version. There we don't have any kind of model. There, whatever we are doing directly, we can create a extra customization. There we have a layer concept. So that is why I told you in 2012 we are following layers, but
yeah,
in
yeah.
Dynamics 365 we are following models.
Okay, so you mean to say for any customization, whatever we are going to start, before that we must have at least one model.
Correct, correct, correct. One model must required.
So
Okay,
the first thing to is the model, then the project, then the solution.
correct, correct, correct. Okay, any question up to here?
Yeah, I have a question. So, if I am doing a customization for a client, so I will use a single model across the complete customization, or I can use multiple.
Now, I think you have a good question. So basically, it applicable when you have a huge solution. Suppose you have created 1000 object and the processing is getting very slower. Like when you are generating build will take a lot of time. In that case, you can create multiple models. But if you have only one client and you want to provide a solution. So technically, I would say only one model is enough for a particular solution. Okay, like if you are creating, as I told you, your client, they created one separate module. In that case, you can create a separate model. Now again, they created a separate module. In that case, you can create a separate model. So it's like
I think
module
it,
wise, you
it,
can
it will
create a model.
it will be better to keep as a module wise. So if you want to, disseminate it somewhere else, you can reutilize.
Yes, yes. So later on, it will be easy for you to identify which object, which
Yeah,
model.
easy
So,
to track and trace.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
we have
thank you.
different models based on the module wise, and the later point of time, it will be easy to for any developer for track and trace purpose. What
Correct.
we had done.
So later what happened? Later what happened? Suppose I have this model. Okay, I have multiple environment like dev one, dev two. I have you. Can you mute? Okay. So when you are working in any of the organization, it's not only you have one development environment. You may have multiple development environment like dev three. Okay. Dev one is working on model one. Dev two is working on model two. Dev three is working on model three. Okay. Maybe like when this is I'm talking about the big organization. Okay. They are having multiple models. Now developer 2 required all the features developed by M1. What he can do directly, he can provide to developer 2. Okay, he will export the model. Developer 2 can import the model into dev 2 environment. In the same way, he can also move this. You can also move M2 from dev 2 to dev 1. So I can say we are exporting the objects in terms of model. Okay, this is also a biggest benefit of the model.
And then one question. This is the you can import and export the from one environment to another environment, right?
Correct, correct, correct. So we can export the M1 from development environment and directly we can import to dev2 environment.
And also we can move the data from one environment to another environment is possible.
Data is not possible. Like you can export, what you can do, you can go to SQL server. Okay, you can stop the services. So as I told you in our Dynamics 365, we have only one database, AXDB. So what you can do, AXDB, you can create a backup file and then you can
In the
export the
years.
backup file. Yes. No, 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 no. We have the SQL server, right? I showed you yesterday.
Yeah,
If
okay.
you open this SQL server, so it's totally separate feature. Okay, whatever code we are writing, it is not available in SQL Server. Previously in AX 2012, whatever code you are using, it was stored in SQL Server. In which database we have a separate database called a model. So in model here we are storing, but now what we are storing, where we are storing in XML file. So here we have an option to create a backup. I think it's a normal way how we create a backup. You can click on backup. It will create a .bak file. Okay. This file you can export from development one environment to development two environment, and then you can import. It's a normal way how we are exporting the database and how we are importing the database. Okay. Any question in this? Okay. So now we will create a separate, we will create a new project. So which option you need to select when you are creating a new object? Always select finance and operation. Don't select any other thing. So because in this is related to Visual Studio, so it may have all the features like console application, window application, Node.js, everything available. So in your case, you need to choose finance and operation. Finance and operation project. Click next. Here you can give some project name. BP, I'm just taking a naming convention. So as per best practice, you must follow some naming convention so you can identify your object very easily. VP underscore my first project. Click on create button. Okay, you can see when I created VP underscore my first project, ISV is coming and fleet management is coming. So what is this ISV? What is this fleet management? Can anyone explain me what is this?
ISV is layer
Ah,
and fleet
here.
management for standard model. Like by default it will come.
Yeah. So why by default it is coming? Because you remember we have one model of one checkbox was available when we were creating any module.
Application.
You remember this model, this checkbox, make this my default model for new project. So the meaning of this checkbox is like whenever you are creating a new project, automatically this model will be selected. So that is why I disable this checkbox. Okay. Now I don't want to create any object in fleet management because fleet management created by the standard. Now if you want to see who created this model, you can see in this way. Select fleet management. You can see it is developed by Microsoft Corporation and they uses ISV layer. Okay, what is the description they have given? Sample application to demonstrate the capability of financial operation framework. Okay, so don't use fleet management. Which one you want? You will use. We will use. Okay, now how to select a model? Right click the project, click on properties. You can change the model from here. So which one we will use? We will use VP underscore train. Okay. Now there is a option available synchronize database on build. As of now it is false. Okay, let it be false. We will enable this option later on. Then I will explain you what is the meaning of this. Now you can see automatically layer come USR layer because in our case we selected USR layer. That's why USR is coming. But USR and VAR layer, ISV layer, whatever it is not applicable for Dynamics Finance and Operation. It was applicable in previous version. So as of now you can ignore this layer concept. Now for this project, okay, project created. Any question up to here? Hello, Kavita, Aftab, anyone having question up to here? How to
No,
create
I
project,
think
create
not at
model?
this moment. Yeah. Go ahead, sir. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So model created. Once we create model, we will create object. It can be a table, it can be a class. We will write down the code in the class. We will create EDT, we will create enum. Like we will create, maybe we can create any number of objects. Okay. Once we created object, what is the first step? Like as a developer, when you are writing a code, what is the first step to do? We will check compilation error. Is there any compilation error? If there is no compilation error, then we will check the output. So in our dynamic CX, how we compile? Right click on this project, we will apply build. Build means it will do compilation. Okay. 1 second, I am holding. So what is the next step? We created a model. We can do compilation with the help of build and rebuild. Clean means it will clean whatever build you generated. Okay, it's not applicable too much. So basically you need to understand what is the meaning of build. Build means we will compilation. Compilation of project. Okay, this is about compilation of project. If I want to build of model, is it possible? In this way, we created a build of project. Now, if I want to create a build of model, is it possible? Yes. How we
Yes.
can create? How we can create a build of model? We can click on extension, financial operation, build models. We can enable which model I want to check. Is there any compilation error or not? So you can choose our model VP underscore Twain. Okay, I enable this one. Now I'm generating build. So now what system is showing the message? Application is compiling. Okay, the whole model system will compile and system will check is there any compilation error in any of the object or not. If no object, it will say success. If there is an error, system will display this is the particular error. So you can see here compilation success with 2 warning. So whenever you found out this warning message, you can ignore this one. Okay, it's not very important. Okay. Okay, so up to here, no question. So you can see there is some error coming. Okay, it is just a warning message. It is not an error. So warnings you can ignore. Okay. Now we completed models. We completed project. Now today we will create some enum and EDT. Okay. How to create enum? As I told you yesterday, if I want to create any of the object, right click the project, click on add new item. Okay, when you click on the new item, you can see system open this window. Here you which object you want to use. Dynamics 365 items I want to create. What items I can create? Code means class I can create, interface, macro, runnable class, test class. I'll teach you others later how what is the usage of this. As of now, I think you can understand class only. Then configuration under data model, we can create data entities, map, query, table, view. These are the objects you can create. Under data types, we can create EDT, enum. Okay. Then we have labels. We can create labels. We can create report. We can create security extensions like security role, security privilege, security duty. I will explain you later. We can create services. We can create forms, menu item, display menu, each and everything. So one by one, we will go through all these nodes. So initially, we are going to data type section. Any question?
So, Anand, here is a question for me that whenever in a real environment, and when they said technical or techno-functional consultant, so what the expectation of there are very start with changes in the form, changes in the reporting or designing the new reports, right?
as a
So
as a techno function.
yeah, as a techno-functional consultant, they were expected the basic, very basic stuff that
Yes, sir.
you will be able to change the forms where there is a missing or there is a requirement to add more fields on the form, and then the
Gaurav?
report. These are the very basic
Ah,
requirements.
Yes.
yes,
When you said the data type, how do we identify what? Why do we start from the data type? Or do we start from the forms and then the data
No, no.
types?
No. First, it's like one by one we will go. As I told you,
Hmm.
if you come to
Asala.
forms, it will be very difficult for you to understand. So we are
Okay,
going in a sequence way. First, we complete data types, then we
okay,
complete base enum, then EDP, then tables. Then once table section completed, then we follow forms. Someone
okay,
can mute.
okay.
Some voice is coming. Kumar, can you mute yourself? Yeah, Kumar, can you mute? Okay.
Sorry, sorry.
Okay. One by one we will go. Okay. So if
Okay.
you come directly forms, it will be difficult for you to understand because at least you must have an idea what are data types. Then only you can understand further parts. Okay. So we will create base enum. First, let's start from the base enum. Okay. Now base enum. What is the usage of base enum? As I told you, when you require a drop down with fixed value at form level or table level, when you required a drop down with fixed value,
Yeah, that will help.
drop down with fixed values.
The value can be any data type, huh? String, real.
No, make sure it should be in a same. I mean, the data type is same. It is just a. It is a. We can say we have like 0, 1, 2. I can say the values
Can we
should be
also have string
yes
in the
or
middle?
no. This is not a string format. This is a enum. This is a enum format.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Starts from the zero,
Okay.
right?
Can be male,
Yeah.
female also.
You
Male,
can
female
start
also.
as per your requirement. It's not like it should be zero only. First one you can give none, then you can put one, then you can put two. It's up to you. Okay. Okay. One you we will implement some example, then you will understand properly. Now I'll select base enum. IP sorry VP underscore. I'll create one enum as a status.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what other status can happen? Maybe pending status when you are creating any order or any kind of thing. What other status can happen? Pending, error,
Open a pending posted completed.
open. Yeah, we can put posted also. Error. We can add posted, right?
Yeah.
We can add posted. We can add error, and then we can add completed.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the spelling is not correct. Completed. Now, when you create a new element, make sure you must provide the label. Okay. As per Microsoft best practice, whenever you are creating any object, make sure you must provide the label, status, which style you want. It's a combo box or radio button. I think you
Mhm.
understand the meaning of combo box and radio button.
Yes.
Okay. So this is
The
the
radio
same thing.
button
Which
you can
style
choose
you
that.
want, you can choose. Radio button is something like this.
You can check more than one.
So something like this. We need to click to disable like that. Okay.
Yes.
So combo box is something like we will select the value from the drop down. So I'm choosing style as a combo box. Okay. Other property
And
you
one
can
thing,
ignore. Yes.
yeah, in the label section, it is a like a name, right?
Yeah, it
It
is
is
a
a
name.
taken
It is a
the
label.
yeah.
Label means whatever you can see here. This is a label. Payroll management system. How you can see with
It
the
ap-
help of label. You can see
it
billing
appears
code.
in the
Billing code.
LCS, right?
Yeah. They say billing code is coming from where? Billing code is a label. Billing code is a label. Sales tax is a label. Sales taxes and interest is a label. You can see interest code. Interest code is nothing. It is a label. Okay. Now pending. In case of pending, pending is a element. You can provide label pending. In case of error also you can give label. If you don't give label, what will happen? Here field will come, but you can't understand what is the field name.
Yeah, it
So
will be
that is
like a
why
black
you
box.
can provide, yeah, posted, then completed. Okay. Any other enum you want, we can create. Any specific requirement? Okay. We will create enum like
Let's create one for state code.
state code,
Yes.
meaning
For
to
example,
say, may example.
state Karnataka is KA, Delhi is
So master, so
That
master.
is not applicable because for Karnataka, like if you go to state, we have to create a table because today we have Karnataka and tomorrow they may add West Bengal also. So, okay.
There are fixed
So
values. So we can use gender instead.
yeah, gender is specified. I think it's a good example.
Yeah,
VP
can use
underscore gender.
gender.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now before creating any enum, you must check standard also. Okay, by standard, gender is available or not.
Mm.
So you can see gender is
Gender
already available in
already available.
application platform. Okay, so you can
Mm.
see someone asked me why application platform enabled. So you can see whatever common thing is available, whatever common is which is applicable for all the modules, those objects are available in application platform. Okay,
So we
that
can
is why
use
I
it one.
correct. So we can use, we don't need to create again. Instead, again, I mean, still, if you want to create a new one, you can create your own separate gender also.
Anand,
So
the
first,
state is not available in the application platform, right? The Joydeep
state,
asking about the state is like Karnataka. The state is field is not available in the application platform or any other, right?
Must be
state,
there.
we need
It
to
must
check.
be there.
State, we need to check at which place it is available. Okay, we will check state later on. Okay? So
Okay.
first, we are focusing on this because basically state applicable for tables. Okay, I'll teach you later. Okay. Now, suppose already this enum available. Still my requirement. So my customer is saying I don't want four values. I want my specific values, only two values. I'm going to create a new gender. If you put gender only, system will throw error because first of all, there is no naming convention. Second one, gender already available by standard. So still if you try to create, you must provide a name, separate name, VP underscore gender. Now I can say this is
And
my
naming can
customized,
be very important.
enum. I gave two values, male, female. Okay. You can give the label also.
Here I am having a doubt. I cannot extend the standard,
Your voice is not clear. Can you say again?
Yeah, I can. Is it possible to extend the standard enum gender?
Correct, 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 correct. You have a very nice question. So that is also a possible. Okay. Now, what is his question? He is saying by standard, whatever gender available, he want to modify the label of this male. Okay. So his requirement is something like instead of male, he want to give separate name. So to achieve that kind of requirement, what we can do, we can extend gender. We can create a extension of this where we will create extension, right click, create extension. Okay, you can see one new folder created base enum extension. Automatically gender.vp12. vp12 means it's a model name. This is the extension under this model. Now you can see Microsoft allow you to modify only some of the property. So let's check what are the properties we can change. Basically, label we can't change. We can't change anything in the enum. They allow you to create, okay, label we can change for the values. Standard object label we can't change, but the values label we can change. I don't want male, I want males, some different value that you can provide. Okay, now the what will be the effect wherever gender enum applicable everywhere in the whole system instead of male now males label will appear. Okay, so how many now I want to find out how many places we are using gender. You can use find the references. You can see around 52 matches found. There are 52 places available in Dynamics AX where we are using gender. Okay, so it is affecting all the 52 places. Okay.
So this will be for the new. I mean, this will be this changes will affect in extension only or the previous one also,
Extension only.
because you
But
are creating
from the
extension
from
only,
the
right?
yes, from the front end, let me show you. Give me a second. So there is a table. This table available. This table is using gender. Okay. Now I'll show you
Hmm.
SMM contact person. I'll open table browser. Actually, our time is about to finish, so we will
Oh
proceed
yes.
tomorrow. Okay, so I'll complete this part only. Tomorrow we will proceed further about editing. Okay.
Anand, one question from, sorry, in the standard, gender, you can select the gender in the standard part. We cannot change any label or model, any other thing, right?
No, no. In extension, Microsoft allow you to values label you can change whatever the element, but whatever the object name, that label you are not able to change. But whatever values unknown label you can provide. Female, you can change the label. Okay. There is some limitation up to this place you are allowed to change. Okay.
Okay.
There is some issue.
And we have a list of all the data types which we are going to use it here in EDT or this, and what is the purpose of that to understand
We will
before
use
we.
we will use all data types. It's up to your requirement, like which one you want to use. Let
No,
me
I
show
want to
you.
be
What are
prepared
the things you
before.
can, yeah. What are the things you can practice? String you must practice. Let me capture the screenshot. So base enum, I think we
What
completed
are these?
already.
My question is that what are these can be used for? I mean, what EDT do, what containers do. So based on that, we will be ready when we analyze the forms, what we required and what could we use for it.
Yeah, I mean this is this one I will teach you. So basically When in what
Like
case
purpose.
we need date? Yeah, what is the purpose? In which case
Yeah.
we will use EDT date? I think by checking the date keyword itself, you can understand in what case we need to use date EDT. So whenever we have a requirement related to changing the date, or if you want to store any kind of date, which EDT you will use? EDT date. EDT enum is something like in this EDT we will assign the enum. This one you can ignore. We will teach. I'll teach you later tomorrow. EDT GUID. This is applicable for the images. When you want to store, so when you want to store any kind of image, which one you will use? You will use GUID. Then we have an integer. If you want to store any kind of integer value like number of days, so enum, any kind of amount which is not in decimal, in that case you can use EDT integer. Integer 64 applicable only for rec ID. Tomorrow we will proceed for this integer 64. Then real is applicable for decimal. Then we have a string. String applicable for the name. If you want to store name, if you want to store description, if you want to state name, if you want to state code, you can use EDT string. Then we have a time. So for each, we will go tomorrow one by one. Okay, in case of EDT. Okay. Now I open the table. Here you can see there is a column as a gender. Okay, you can see how many values available for gender: blank, male, female, not non-specific. Okay, why it is blank? If you go to standard enum for a unknown, there is no value. Okay, no label. But for a male, we have changed this value
Yes.
from male to males. Okay, now you can see we change the value, but it is not reflected here. Why it is not reflected here? We have not generated build yet. Okay,
We
so
didn't compile that.
once you have done changes, make sure you will generate a build. Build means it will compile the object and it will do synchronization with the SQL server. Now currently, it will not do synchronization because this option is disabled. So what you need to do, we have to enable this option to synchronize the data from SQL Server. So 1 second, we will go one by one. So you can see here build completed and there is no error. Application pool X++ compilation completed. This number of seconds it took. Okay. Now you can see if I refresh the form, if I refresh the table, so today we completed models and project. So what you can do practice. You can access the lab environment as of now. Okay.
So Anand, this is Joydeep.
Joydeep.
The other day you mentioned, right, we will set up our local machine. So when we'll do that?
We will do. I mean, just check with Visualpath team once. Okay, and we will create one session also for that. I will help you to install how you can install the software. So first you prepare your laptop and everything. Just check with Visualpath team also.
Yeah, I actually talked to, I mean, I discussed the same thing with them yesterday. They said they will let you know that
So maybe
basically.
within 1 or 2 days, we will provide you the environment. Okay, we will help you how you can install. I will take a session for that. By Friday, I will take a session. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I will
Mm-hmm.
explain you how you can install the whole software into your system. So make sure by Friday everyone will be having laptop, good configuration laptop, and so you will be able to install software in your local system. So Saturday and Sunday you can download the file and you will be able to install in your system because when you install the software you required 100 GB because we have 100 GB files. So those files you need to download, then you can install the software. So it will take around 2 or 3 days. Okay. So Friday I will explain you what are the files you need to install. Okay, in our class.
So files is 100 GB, right?
100
Anand?
GB around 80 or 90 GB will be there.
More than 80 GB, 80 to 100 GB
Maybe,
between.
yeah, maybe.
But in this lab environment, I was trying to connect to this environment, Anand, and every time I try to do it, throws me an error saying that Microsoft Learn hosting cannot be accessed the application, and it says my email ID from identity provider
Okay,
live.com does.
everyone note down my email ID. Whenever you found any issue, just send me an email at my email ID. You can note down my email ID, anand
Oh,
dot agarwal 50 @gmail.com. Okay, so just send me the screenshot of that error here. Okay, I will reply there. You
Anand,
can
can
note
you
Please
send
down.
me?
type your email ID in the
Yeah, just
chat window.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
and
forward
one
in
more
the.
thing, like, Anand, am I audible? Sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, maybe you can paste the lab right in the chat, right, so we can use that.
Yeah, tell me what is your question?
So maybe you can if you, yeah, you can send that lab link, lab environment link in the chat. So everybody can try to they try to access.
Actually, your voice is not audible properly. Can you write down here what you want to say?
Yeah, he said that like the lab link.
Am
Yeah,
I audible?
lab URL. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
lab URL. So let me share with you lab URL also. Okay, here what you need to do, you need to log in. Maybe you need to create a separate ID also. So just check, just try to create one dot on Microsoft.com ID, and then you will be able to access the lab. Okay.
This
If you
lab
are unable
URL,
to,
this
yeah,
lab
tell me.
URL, we can able to access only this right? But we can't
Yeah,
access
you
Google
can
Drive.
access from anywhere. Yes, yes, you can access from
No,
anywhere.
no. So I thought
I
I'm asking.
clicked on it. It says access denied.
So maybe your ID does not have access. So just try to create a new ID. Which ID you were using? What was the extension of the ID?
Whenever we click on the link, it's right away saying access denied.
No, you can't use gmail.com. You have to create dot on Microsoft.com. So
Not
like
even
this kind
asking
of
for info.
you need to create.
One
It's
second.
not even
Sorry.
asking for any mail ID.
One second. I'm sorry. I just want to check. So my email ID is dot outlook.com.
You can use it should be dot outlook.com. You can use.
But it
And
is not.
with this link, we can't access
Just,
Visual Studio,
okay,
right?
just try to connect. If you are facing any issue, you can send me an email. I will reply there. Okay, so that's all for today.
No, I have a couple of questions.
Yeah, Shri, tell me.
Yeah, so with this link, so we can able to access only Visual Studio, right? We can't access like Visual Studio. Am I right?
Yeah, you can access Visual Studio, correct?
With this link,
Correct, correct. Through this link, this is you can see I am accessing the whole Visual Studio. I am accessing the SQL Server from the link only.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, just try once. If you face any issue, tomorrow I will explain you how you can use this environment.